Hello guys, and welcome back to Jim's Brief Beer Reviews. So I'm quite excited right now actually because I'm finally going to review this beer. This is the St-Ambroise Framboise Raspberry Ale. Basically this is a summertime seasonal they release every year, but since I usually go away for the summer, haven't been able to try this beer until this summer. I've had this on tap at the beer festival, and then I had a bottle when my friends came from Toronto, so I don't really know what to expect from this beer, but regardless of this I want to give it a nice brief review. Basically this is a 5% ABV fruit beer brewed with real raspberry juice rather than just artificial natural flavorings, and it comes in a 4-pack. Usually you can find it in singles too. It's pretty well distributed outside of Quebec, but in Montreal you can only find it in a few stores, which is kind of disappointing. But in those stores it's usually available throughout the summer, at least throughout June and July. That I know for sure. So let's take a look at the beer. It's got a very nice kind of deep ruby or reddish color to it, quite cloudy, and the head was really lush at first. Even now it's pretty nice. Still you're getting about a finger worth of head. This is not a lambic, and this is not a fruit wheat beer. Instead, this is basically just a kind of ale with additional raspberry juice. On the nose, you definitely get enough raspberries, but it's not just about that. It also smells fairly malty. You get that very typical McCausland house yeast, which I usually sense in every beer I try from them, and it's not a bad thing. It's just a very kind of signature smell. And you get a little bit of maybe caramel and bread, things like that. Let's taste it. It's a very hot day out, so this is really perfect for the moment. Very refreshing, a little bit tart, and once again it's full of raspberry flavor, kind of tart and sweet at the same time. And then the good thing about this beer, I'm not sure everybody will enjoy this fact, but it still tastes like a beer, and in this case it's a very good thing. I think you get the malts, you get a very slight hints of hops, and that yeastiness once again, but I guess the raspberry flavor is still dominating, which is good and expected. This is what this beer is all about essentially, and it doesn't taste like some beer that just has some artificial thing added to it, and all the while it doesn't taste just like an alcoholic juice. So I think that they've done a marvelous job balancing every aspect of this beer. It's fruity and refreshing, so excuse me, it will appeal to a very kind of wide audience, particularly women probably. And the only problem I have with it is that it's 5%. My only concern about it is, I guess, because it's 5. My only concern about this beer is that it's 5% ABV, which I would probably prefer to be lowered a little bit, because it's a nice, refreshing, light fruit beer, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a sessional beer, because it's really not. But nevertheless, you can have a few of these and it will be nice and refreshing, fruity with a little tartness. It definitely isn't too sweet, but there's some nice sweetness to it as well. Yeah, all in all, one of the best fruit beers I've had that are not lambics. And yeah, really nice beer. I'm glad I finally gotten to try this beer this year. I'll give this probably an 8 out of 10. I'll say this is recommended if you like these kind of things, and stick to good beer, guys. That's all I've got to say. See you next time. Bye.